Hi, G&T here. We're about to have an interview with Izzie Gibbs, who just performed on the BBC Radio 1 Xtra stage.
Izzie is an up-and-coming 22-year-old grime artist, so we're really excited to see what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It was good. You know what I'm saying? I had the big banner behind me saying Izzie Gibbs, and it was crazy. Still, I was pumped. I'm not used to having like all that like big production around my performance and that. So to see my name up against on the back wall, and it was crazy still. And the crowd, more importantly, was mental. The crowd was a vibe. I'm telling you, it was actually mad. I've never seen that many mosh pits in my life, and I guarantee today, yeah, I had the biggest and best mosh pit of the whole festival already. 100%, 100%. It was mental. It was mental. It got that hectic. People had to leave outside the mosh pit and stand on the outside because they didn't want to be involved in it. That's how hectic it was. It was looking like wrestling up in that. Am I allowed to swear? I didn't mean to say. I'm sorry. Apologies.
So, I mean, all the shows you've done, like, how is Reading compared to that?
Reading, you know what? I've done Reading a couple of times. Reading was pumped. Reading was super pumped. All the shows are good vibes. You know what I'm saying? I've realised that I let the energy and the music do the talking itself. You know what I'm saying? So when I see people having a good time, that just makes me feel better, and it makes me want to just perform even more. So yeah, man, the vibe's sick.
And how did you break into the industry? Sort of tell us about like your story.
How did Izzie? I sound like a proper weirdo referring to myself in the third person. Izzie Gibbs, you know. You know what it is? I'm such a strange person, innit? Like, I'm not even gonna front. You see me, some days I'm gassed and some days I feel like like the worst, innit? So it's like I have 10 different personalities. But me, when I'm Izzie Gibbs and I'm trying to be good vibes or whatnot, the way I broke into the industry, you know what it was? I was just literally a pest. Like, anything that I could utilise to get myself out there, I was just trying to get there, do you know what I'm saying? So, and I remember when I first started trying to do music, I used to just go by the name Izzie, innit? So what happened was, I was at a set, right? And there was a female there, innit? She was kinda like, she looked strong, innit? And she come up to me and she was basically like to me like, yeah, you gotta change your name. But I was a young kid, innit? She was like, yeah, my name's Izzie. And I was like to her, oh, do you know what? I'm just gonna add Gibbs on there. Obviously, that's my surname. So I just called myself Izzie Gibbs, and then yeah, I was just a pest, utilizing every single platform that I could use, and trying to just build myself up. I thought that was the best thing to do, but being where I'm from, Northampton, obviously, it's hard to. It's not as much resources there, innit? So you have to venture out, and people that are trying to do something somewhere that's already popping, they're like proper. What's the word? They're a bit like they try to hold it close to them, innit? That's the best way I can put it. Yeah, protective. Like they try to hold it close to them. So trying to break into it was a bit harder, but it's fun, man. Just utilize any platform you can. But this is one thing I said, and I said about this yesterday, yeah? Any person that's up and coming, use all the platforms that you can and utilize it. But when you get to a stage where you have a platform yourself, like you as yourself is a platform, go back to them old platforms and still work with them and try build them up more, because you'll bring something else to the table that they didn't necessarily have when they were trying to put you on, in it. That's what I try to do. So like any channels that I did a freestyle on before or whatever when I was up and coming, now when I know that I'm going to generate a certain amount of views towards their thing, I'll still work with them. I don't just try to do my own channel. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's about building up everyone, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, 100%.
So you said earlier before we started that you kind of thought about maybe going to university. So what's kind of your reasoning behind that, or your reasoning why you haven't already?
I'm gonna be 100% honest, yeah. I absolutely I like learning, but the whole or like education or like sitting in a room and listening to someone speak, I feel like I'm in prison, innit? Like I hate having to like just be in one confined space and listen for ages. I like to go to different places and try and learn different things, but a lot of people around me, like, have been going to have been uni or whatnot, and the experiences that I'm hearing them talk about, I just feel like, and the opportunities that they get after it, I'm like, you know what? I actually have the intelligence to be able to do it. It's just about being able to be around humans, so many humans. It's crazy. Like people, it sounds mad, yeah, because I do so many I do like perform in front of a lot of people or whatnot. It's like people, when I say that to people, they're like, but you perform and you meet loads of people, but I find it so hard to be around like a lot of like just people. Like I find it so hard. So that's the only thing that's like making me not want to do uni. But at the same time, I don't just want to do music. Like I enjoy music, I love it. But anyone out there, you'd be stupid, yeah, to just have one thing and stick to that and thinking that that's what's going to be forever. Try have as much things under your belt. Be like Batman. You see how Batman's got all them tools on his belt? Be like that, but just with like qualifications and knowledge and whatnot, and just different careers. Because you don't even have to go uni to be successful, but most successful people in the world, they have more than one thing that they rely on. So that's what I would say to someone. Even though I do music and yeah, I'll do well from it or whatnot, I'm still trying to better myself. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would say to anyone, especially if you listen to me, that's the best thing that you can do in it. Don't just rely on one thing what you're doing. Try and strive for more. So yeah, that's why I want to go uni, to strive for more, basically.
In relation to like the crowds, do you think maybe you could teach instead of learn?
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what? I got an EP out right now on every streaming service, whatever, called 96 L's, yeah? If you listen to it, you'll actually find in a lot of my music, don't get twisted, it's still fun or whatnot, but I try to put things in there that are conscious in it. So if I talk about, like a lot of rappers, they'll talk about, oh yeah, I did this, I did that, and oh, I've got so many jewels and cars and all the girls love me. But like me, I try to do that, but at the same time, I try to give the other aspect of it. Like I have friends and people that I know, and I've been in situations where life gets real in it. So like you have to let the youngers that are impressionable, you have to let them know that like, raw, like even though they see it and they think, oh, I could get loads of money, yeah, but at the same time, you could do stupid amount of time in prison. You know how that's how real it is. So in my music, I always try to be conscious with it. Especially like one time I went to Fort Park, and these kids were staring at me like, and they look big. You know kids nowadays, yeah? Like my little brother, he's 15, but he's like this big, and he's got facial hair and that. And I'm like, I see these guys watching me, and at first I'm thinking, why are they watching me for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like it just looked a bit weird. And they come running up to me, and I realized that they were really young. They were just big, but they were really young. And I'm like, how old are you? They're like, oh, we're like 14 and that. And I'm like, right, you listen to my music. So I'm glad that I'm conscious, because I try to show them the flip side, innit? Because at the end of the day, all right, cool, life's real, and sometimes you have to do certain things that might not necessarily be the right thing, but make sure whatever you're doing wrong, you're doing it for the right reasons. As contradictive or hypocritical as that sounds, just make sure whatever you're doing it for the right reasons, innit? And not just to buy as many chains as you can or whatever. Like if you're helping your mum or whatever, then yeah, that's cool, innit? But I always try to give them the flip side, because whatever you're doing, if it's not right, there's gonna be consequences, innit? So yeah, I always try to teach the youth, especially, because I'm young myself. I'm 22 years old, but yeah, I'm trying to, yeah. I just bang on for ages, innit? I'm so sorry.
So like your music's quite conscious then, like socially conscious and socially aware?
Yeah, some of it. But the way I do it, yeah, and none of you rappers try to copy me, the way I do it, I don't do it so it's not boring, innit? Like when you listen to it, you're just thinking you're listening to a hype song or whatever, and you're getting all gassed or whatever, and whatever you're doing. But if you actually sit there and listen to what I'm saying, you actually realise that I'm actually trying to give you a message. But to the youth, I'm trying to put it in a way that they can take it in and they can actually digest it, innit? Because if I was just on a track and like, oh, you have to do this and that and da-da-da-da, it'd be boring. No, I wouldn't even listen to that. If someone tries to like put that in my ears, I'll be like, what the hell's this? But when you do it in a way where they're like, oh, this is gas, but then they're like, oh, rubber, he's actually saying sense. Subconsciously, they're taking it in anyway. And I feel like I have an advantage because I have younger siblings or whatnot. I hear the music that they listen to, and I hear what they're talking about, like them rappers that they listen to are talking about. And then when he listens to me, I know, I see the way he acts or whatnot, and I think, okay, subconsciously, you're taking in what I'm saying, innit? Yeah. So it's like, I know other kids out there doing the same thing, innit? So that's what it's about, really. So it's not fully conscious, like, boring, but it does play a big part in it. Definitely plays a big part in it, 100%.
Thank you so much. Well, Izzie Gibbs, everyone. Yeah. It's been amazing.
Oh my God, obviously. We got Reading University. I'm gonna have to pull up there. I might even go there. You might even just see me there, yeah? When you're asking me what I'm doing, I'm telling you I'm trying to get a degree. I'm trying to get a degree. You never know, innit? You never know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.